Hello, welcome back to the Opinionistics podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Alone, and oh my gosh, the host is still not here, but oh well, gotta go which we go for. Our guest from Namibia, but currently living in Houston, Texas, I give you Veronica Jeans.
Thank you very much, Peter. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too, yes. So, tell me more about what you do.
Well, it's probably what I don't do, but I am specifically in e-commerce, and I help clients to get their products online and selling and marketing and whatever goes with getting your products online and trying to attract some customers. And then I've also started writing the books about it. So
Okay.
helping people to actually get, as I said, get their products onto Shopify, specifically the shopping cart platform, because it can be very, very confusing with all the information that you need to create your business online.
Okay. Interesting. And what got you into helping people set up the Shopify website?
Well, I crashed my previous company, which I was in recruiting, and I had a very, very bad partner. And so I decided I want to sell something online. And I started talking to one of the sales guys at the hosting platform, 3D Cart. And then he started sending me customers. And I thought, oh, this is cool. I'll help them. And I literally fell into it by accident. And having have a lot of experience in business, I managed to help them get their products online and make sure that they're making enough profits, and talking about how to back up their stuff on accounting and taxes and all sorts of things, because there's so many moving parts in creating a business, online or offline, right?
Yeah. So, what's important to know when setting up your Shopify site?
I think probably the most important thing to know is, will people buy your product? I mean, most people think, oh my Lord, I've got the best things in sliced bread and everybody's going to like it. And so they don't do their due diligence by testing the products out and saying, hey, going to, obviously family and friends might say yes, and hopefully they'll be honest with you. But going to people and interviewing people that you think are your customers and asking them, would you buy this product? Most small business owners or entrepreneurs, when they're starting out, they tend to think that somebody's going to pinch their idea, steal their idea, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing. But as I keep saying to them, is nobody will do, if you're really committed and passionate about what you're doing, the person that's going to steal the idea doesn't have the same passion, and so won't hang in there for the duration of actually creating and getting all this information online, than what you do.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I think, and another thing is that when probably another important factor is, when you're selling something, you have to know what you're selling. So you got to know the product, and you have to be passionate about it, because, business goes up and it goes down. It depends what happens. We've had the little wars happen now in Europe. And so, sales go down and, things happen. So you have to hang in there with your product and make it through the hard times. And that is really hard when you're not selling, because you lie in bed in the morning, you go, oh my Lord, I have to get up and do what? And so if you not really can get yourself going, because this is a very lonely business, having a business online, and that's that, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. And you have to make sure that you can exude that exuberance to your customers, because they know, A, if you don't know your product, and B, if you don't like your product.
Okay. Okay. Cool, cool. So, what was life for you growing up?
Oh, in Namibia, hot,
Yeah.
hot. Although it's a little bit different. The heat in Houston is a little bit different because very, very humid. But Africa is, and anybody that's was born and you brought up in Africa, you have that special African smell. You know, it's just different to any other country. And I lived in Europe for 8 years as well. So Africa is just really open, and it's Namibia specifically is very dry. So we follow the weather very, very closely. And it's such a huge country that you have rain in one section and then no rain in the other section. And I also grew up during the apartheid years in Africa. So that was a very different experience as well, because I don't know why my computer is dinging, but that is also another aspect of growing up and experiencing really horrible stuff.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Okay.
So, and horrible by that I mean that we have. Uh, this is going into politics and everything like that. But growing up, you know that what people are doing to other people isn't fair and doesn't make sense, right? So, as a white person, I could not mix with black people, and they went somewhere else in the evening. They weren't allowed in town at night. It was like curfew. And it wasn't as bad in Namibia as it was in South Africa. Um, but it's just denying somebody their human rights. Um, and I was fortunate and unfortunate. I was fortunate. My mother was a very fair person, never saw any color. But I grew up also with my granny and my father, who are racist. So you have that division in a house, which is, yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I can go on about how I grew up. But as a child, you have your normal growing up, and you don't know any different. So yeah, you can look back and go, okay, that's what I was feeling, and now no, I was right. But it gives you different perceptions in the world, in within yourself and in the world as well. How you treat people, and I think I grew from it.
Okay. Okay. Cool, cool. So, what do you like about what you're doing right now with your clients?
Oh, I love helping people get their businesses going, and I love helping them, um, especially. I get quite a few customers or clients that come to me and they go, things are not working. What do I need to do? And they're all over the place. Is coaching them to get in and focused and knowing what they're doing and getting them help, right? Because not everybody can do everything, but there's so much information out there these days. I mean, you just have to stay on Facebook and you get bombarded with, hey, you need this course and this course and the other course. But as an entrepreneur, and when you're selling stuff online, you have to be really focused on what you're doing. And that's what I do, and that's what I really, really enjoy, is getting them from one level onto the next level. Or even when they're starting out, I've had clients from young clients, middle-aged clients, and a guy that invented um, a spark log lighter. I have to say that very slowly. And he was 74 when he patented this idea, which was like amazing, right? So it's just getting them online and getting them successful wherever they need to be.
Hmm. Cool, cool.
Yes.
And if you had the ability to build another business, what kind of business would that be?
You mean what do I want to be when I grow up? Hmm. Right now I'm moving into the writing author realm and having absolutely so much fun with it, because it's like new stuff that I'm learning. I mean, basically it is, hey, I've got a book, I'm selling it, right? You would think it's the same thing, but it's still something different. And the writing part I'm really enjoying as well. And because I'm always teaching people how to do stuff, so I'll do the same thing in my book. So yeah, I've got my 5th book up in Amazon right now. So, and I don't think there's going to be an end because things change so much so fast. And then another business. I don't know. I think the future is so exciting because things change. I mean, if you look back, things change from day one to the next. So being open to opportunities is what I'm going to do. Oh, and I'm also I had somebody from Namibia contact me through a contact that I helped years ago. That was really on the bones, and I coached them through their businesses and getting back on their feet again. And I got the reward when he recommended me to these guys that are making this oil in Namibia, and they wanted to sell it here in America. So it's taken us about 2 years to get this going, but now we are going to import the special hair and face marula oil, which is the gold standard of oils apparently, into America, which is very, very exciting. So I'm going to be part of the team that is going to be launching this product. So, opportunities happen, right? If you're not open to them, then I don't think you'll be in business. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the future to go, I'll be doing something.
Great. That's nice to hear. And if someone were to write a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. Um,
It
if they
sure is.
wrote, you know what, they would probably say that I had a lot of adventures in my life. I have jumped. I've had lots of careers in my life. I was a builder with a team of guys that used to help me build houses, to being a tax consultant in Holland and translating Dutch to English for the expats and moving money around worldwide, to coming to America and eventually ending up in e-commerce. So I've had a wide experience. Oh, and in between, I did a irrigation license because I was a house designer, architectural designer, and this guy needed somebody to have a certification, so I did my certification. And then I got bored and I did my Microsoft Certified Systems Engineering certification, because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I came to America. So I've had lots of adventures, but I always believe that it just adds to your toolbox, because now, I know about domains and what to do and what not to do. And I can literally set up a POS system without IT, right? I know about computers and systems and internet and all this other stuff. Although, I mean, it changes all the time. But having that in my toolbox has just made me so much more effective in what I'm doing right now, because, retail owners want to go online, and then they want to connect their online to their retail store, and you need a point of sale system. So yeah, so my house, I've got adult boys, children, and my house in the community was the house that all the boys used to come and visit. And they used to have what they called gaming nights. Those were the days, right? And they used to schlep all their computers into the house. And I was probably the only house that had a 16-port router to connect all the computers so they can get online. So, so yeah,
Okay.
life. Mm-hmm. And
Fabulous.
now, fun fact about me is I actually live on a boat, on a yacht. So we are refurbishing the yacht and the cruiser, actually, cruising yacht, and we are going cruising next year. So if we chat again, I might be talking to you from the Bahamas or somewhere.
Hmm. That's
So
interesting.
I know, right? So that could be another business opportunity.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. And when you first arrived in America, what were your first like experiences in general?
I can tell you about my first thought
Okay.
is I came to America and I thought, oh, there are 350 million people to sell something to. I wonder what I can sell. So, so the opportunity in America is just, remember I come from Africa, and then, and also when I was in Africa, when I was an adult, we went through the, uh, when they banned everything, we weren't allowed to sell anything online. What do you call anything to other countries? And so we were like in a status of where we had to create our own businesses, and it was really hard to do business internationally. And so then I moved to Holland, and I mean, Holland is what, 16 million people in a little country, and you spit and you're in another country, and then you have to do business in a different language. But coming to America, it was like, oh man, there's so many opportunities, and it is a lot easier doing business in America than what it is in Europe. Europe is very, I mean, they will kill you with paperwork, right? I mean, if you don't, in Holland, for instance, when I started business, I had to open my business through a lawyer, which cost us lots of money. And then you have to register your business through a lawyer. And so here in America, you just go, okay, I need a business, and sign this form, and boom, you've got a business. And obviously, you have to pay a little bit for it, but you don't have to go through a lawyer to actually start a business. And in Holland, it was also, and I assume the other countries are the same. Is you had to um, here you have to do your paperwork as well, but you have more of a choice. So if I wanted to only do my sales tax and permits, paperwork and payment, obviously, every quarter or once a year or every month, it's the choice I make. But in Europe, it was every single month, and it was just a lot of work. So opening up a business in America is so much easier. And obviously nowadays, I mean, you can do business anywhere in the world, and that's the reason why I stumbled into Shopify. I should have bought some stock, by the way. That was about 11 years ago, because they were the only shopping platform that actually had international banking capabilities. And so none of the other platforms did. So and not easily, right? It was the other platforms, you had to apply and get the gateway and get the payment processor, and it was forms, and it was a huge performance, and APIs and all sorts of things. With Shopify, they made it so easy to come in, and boom, with one click, you've got credit cards available that your customers can use on your store. You link your banking system, and if it's international, you had a little bit extra work to do, but the choices were all in the system. So you knew that whatever's in the system, that can connect to Shopify. Whereas before, I would have to, do my own research and find out who the payment processor would work with the shopping platform. And so they make it so easy to set up a store, actually, on that aspect.
Hmm.
And now, with more privacy rules, and it's getting more and more difficult. You have to be really careful. Or actually, Shopify, and the payment processor that they use, they are very cognizant of that you are a real person, because I think they had so much spamming as well. People setting up stores and selling stuff, and customers are complaining. And obviously, Shopify is the main name, so people assume it's Shopify's fault. It's like Amazon; everybody blames Amazon, right? But although they do sell stuff, Amazon as well, but their own stuff. But on Shopify, it is totally up to the person that opens the store. That's the responsible person. But Shopify had become a lot more strict on, does your banking information, is it the real address? Are you have to put a telephone number in now? And so if you're in any country, that has to coincide where you have your business. And I think it's also got to do with taxes and everything. The taxing in any country is getting more strict. I think countries are more aware of what they're losing out on taxes. So our e-commerce is going to change more and more as we go along.
Okay. Nice. I like to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. That's why everybody needs us, right? So if things are changing all the time, then they need somebody to help them. So, one of the things that you have to do if you're teaching or in marketing or social media or whatever you're doing, you have to stay on the cusp of what's happening to help your customers and make sure that they can grow their businesses with your experience, right?
Yeah. So, what else do you have planned for this week with your business?
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually launching no, he's already launched, but we're relaunching a client that has very interesting product that is not a known product. I mean, he's got like four competition out there for other companies, but he was the first, and so we're relaunching him and trying to get him more customers. And what else? And I'm getting ready to launch my latest book on Amazon, which is very exciting. And so everything's happening at the same time. And then the oils have arrived with a lot of heartache. I mean, getting things into the US has been a challenge because of changing. The world has changed since the pandemic, and we've had to jump through a lot more hoops than what you had to before. But my oils are here, and we're going to start launch. We'll probably launch them in 2 weeks. So lots of things happening.
Okay. Well, good for you. Nice to see you having a lot of things to do. That's great.
I always have my husband keep saying to me, "So what are you going to do today?" And I start going down my list. He goes, "I think you're very busy. I'll go and fix the boat."
Oh, yes.
Yes, I know, right?
Oh,
You
yes,
can have
absolutely.
choices.
A lot of choices.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Where is the most relaxing place you've been to?
The most relaxing place. I'll have to think. Probably think. You know what? I've never been to the Bahamas. Everybody in my family has, and I would say the Bahamas, only because that's the first island you can get to flying out of Florida. But probably, if I think back, Mauritius was really, yes. That's where I caught my 75-pound tuna, and was bigger than any of the other guys on the boat. So that's my claim to fame.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And it was like, you just relax. You just lie on the beach, and we've been fishing and snorkeling and diving, and well, that's not really relaxing, but that's what I call relaxing because I'm not doing anything on my computer.
Okay, that's nice. And do you have a name for the so-called boat?
Oh, yes. We called it Etosha.
Etosha.
Yes, Etosha is a park in Namibia, right up north. Probably one of the big wild nature parks, and yeah, I mean it was my husband's choice. So our mascot is the elephant, which is part of the Etosha landscape, because the elephants come down when it rains. They come to the Etosha sand flats, which then fill up with water. And at one stage, we went to the game park, and I think we saw about 40 elephant all in one go. So yeah, the boat is called Etosha.
Okay.
Which is going to be really difficult taking it through the locks in Louisiana, because I don't think they're going to understand what we mean. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And it's different, everybody. It's really hard to find a name that stands out, and I think that is in business as well. Of what you call yourself is what people are going to remember. So that's what we try to do with the boat as well, and it's part of our lives. That's where I met my husband.
Oh yes. So, what was cool when you were young, but isn't cool now?
What was cool when I was young and it isn't cool now? Oh, we were very bored in Namibia. I mean, this is a small country, and what is cool when I was young? I don't know. I really would have to really, really think about that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe, but it's still the same. Namibia hasn't changed in all the years that I've been out of Namibia. I'm go back regularly because my mom's still there, my sister. It hasn't changed. I mean, the towns have gotten a little bit bigger because people tend to, families grow and families stay and some move out. But the inherent ambience in Namibia hasn't changed, where you can run around as a kid, and you can cycle without getting bumped off your bicycle like here. We had a lot of freedom because I grew up in such a small town that we would go into the bush and just have fun. So no TV or video games, but that's probably what I would think.
Okay. Cool. And whereabouts in Namibia are you from?
I was born in Windhoek, which is the capital, and well, you can say I'm probably from Swakopmund, which is on the coast. It's the whole of Namibia was a German colony, so we're very, very Germanified, and so you have lots of German food and habits and things in Namibia that they still have. When you go, you can see all the old buildings, like the old German buildings you find in Germany. You'll find them in specifically very much so in Swakopmund as well.
Okay.
And
Great.
lots of Germans.
Oh yeah.
I speak I speak German, English, and Afrikaans, and we speak it at home. So we speak 3 languages. So none of my languages are pure.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
That happens when you grow up in a dual or trilingual household.
Oh yes. That's quite a thing, that's for sure.
And also, writing in English has been really an adventure, because I would say my grammar has improved tremendously, and thank God for software, right? Grammarly and WordTune, and I use whatever else I have to help me with my editing, because I tend to switch my text, my sentences around, because if I think in German, then it's the opposite way, right? And it makes life interesting.
Okay. Excellent. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap up here. It was great having you here, Veronica, talking about your work as helping out with people's Shopify websites and wow, a lot of things really. That's been absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come and chat to you. I really enjoyed it.
As do I. And until next time, stay opinionated.